Hello guys, and welcome to this tutorial. We're going to continue looking at the February-March 2017 paper 2-1. In the last video we ended on step number 4. In this video we are going to start looking at document production, which is task 3. So you're going to edit a newsletter about the Woodstore Company's project, and step number 5. So using a suitable software package, load the file m2017 woodstore.rtf. Okay. So Woodstore RTF is this file. Enable editing, and let's go back to the question paper. Okay, so set the page size to F4 and set the page orientation to portrait, and also the top and left margins, set the top and left margins to 3.5, rather just the top margin to 3.5 centimeters, and all other margins are supposed to be set to 2 centimeters. Okay, so let's go ahead and do just that. So we start with the page paper size, which is the page size. Okay, so go to the layout and go to page setup down here and set the paper size to F4. Set the orientation to portrait, and set the top margin to 3.5, and all other margins are supposed to be set to 2. Okay, so before you even close this, we're supposed to take evidence. Okay, so placing your evidence document screenshots to show page size, orientation, and margins. Okay, the margin settings. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's just apply them, and then we can get the okay. So we start with the paper size. So just select. Now you guys, some of you've been wondering what software I use to get screenshots. You can use this software called Lightshot. Okay, just Google Lightshot. It's a free software. Alternatively, you can use the snipping tool from Windows. Okay, so just type here snipping 2, and then you get this tube. And then when you run this tube, just for the sake of those guys that have not used this tube, it's a very powerful tool as well. I liked it the first time I used it, but I prefer using Lightshot. Okay, so the snipping tool, you can get, for example, a window like this one. So you just select which window you see. I select window here, and you see it highlights the window that I want to use, either this window or this window. So depending on the number of windows that are open, you can get the windows there. You can also get in terms of rectangular, so that is you're going to cut out whatever you want to get. Okay, so that is the snipping tool. So let's use it just for the first time. Let's get this window because we want this window first. Okay, so just say okay, wait. Almost say just say okay, just say okay. Okay, so we're done with this window. Then we need to copy it. So when you copy it, it's just here. You don't need to save it as a picture, so you just need to copy it. And so once it is copied, then go to your evidence document and paste the page size here. Okay, so there you go. So you see that it has got nice and smooth edges, so it's very handful when you come to do that. So let's get screenshot for the second window, which is the one to do with margins and the orientation. So again, I'm going to use the snipping tool. So I'll go new, and then new window, and then just say okay, and copy it, and let's go ahead and close this one, and then go to our evidence document and paste this one as well. Now you can resize these if you want so that they fit in. I'm not going to do that for the sake of time. So let's go ahead and go to the next step. So we've gotten the evidence for the changes that we made here. That is page size to F4, orientation to portrait, as well as the margin to 3.5 top and 2 centimeters, the remaining margins. Okay, so let's go to step number 6. Save the newsletter with a new file name. And so make sure it is saved in the format of the software you're using. So let's go ahead and save it in a new file name. So go File, Save As, and then browse there and change first of all the format to here, and then change the file name, the new file name, and I'm going to give it as woodstore0001, but change the file type to Word document, and save it and confirm that. Next, place in your evidence document a screenshot to show that this file has been saved. Make sure that there is evidence of the file type. Okay, so go back here, and the file that you've just saved is you can sort this by date modified if you want. So the file you've just saved is on top, and I'm going to get a screenshot of this. This time I'm going to use Lightshot, and I'm going to copy and paste it here. Okay, oops, okay, there you go. Now I'm going just to resize this so that it fits there. Okay, that looks good. Right, next task, step 7. Place in the header of your newsletter your name, center number, and candidate number left aligned. So let's go ahead and do that. So in the header, insert header, name, Chikasa Evans, ZM 556 0001 is going to be left aligned. Okay, and we'll go back to the question, and then we're going to place the image. Okay, M2017 image.jpg on the right. Okay, so come back here. On the right, I'm going to insert a picture, and we're going to look for the picture in question, and it's the only picture that shows up there, so just pick it up there. So never mind, it is slightly larger than anticipated. So resize this image to be 3 centimeters high and maintain the aspect ratio. So right click and go to size and position, and on the absolute height change it to 3 centimeters and say OK. Now guys, I must say that sometimes students find changing of the size of images and margins to be a little confusing, because their measurements of Microsoft Word usually is in inches. And so sometimes you find that in some schools, instructors, they are not, for lack of better terms, they're not aware that Word is having measurements in inches rather than centimeters. Cambridge papers are prepared with the units of measurements as centimeters rather than inches. So you guys, you must be very careful when you working with margins and image sizes and all. Ensure that your unit of measurements is actually centimeters rather than inches. And a clue that you can have is when you're given, for example, to change the margin to 2 centimeters, and you ended up having a margin as big as maybe from the top to this one, just the gap from the top to here, and this is 2 centimeters. It doesn't make sense why this one should be 2 centimeters. Even just by looking, you can tell that from top to this to the where the header is, it cannot be 2 centimeters. So one of the things you need to do is to go to File, go to Options, and then go to Advanced, and then scroll down and go to Display, and change here where it says show measurements in units of, you need to show measurements in units of centimeters. So usually by default Word, if you're using if you just installed Word, by default it comes with units of measurements in inches, I think. Depending on the region maybe that you're using. So if this word is from United States, by default it comes with inches. Okay, and if it is from UK, I think it should come from centimeters. I mean in centimeters. I'm not so sure which one comes by default, but when you just install Word, usually it comes in inches. Okay, so change it to centimeters and make sure that you're working with units. So that's just a buy thing to make sure that you guys are really maximizing on the number of marks that you can get from this paper overall. Okay, so I'm done resizing the image and I've maintained the aspect ratio. So before we leave the header, we're told we're going to go to the footer. So what you need to do now is to remove this text here. So this text has not been used. There's no reason why you should keep it there. So just delete it. Okay. So next, let's go to so place in the footer the automated file name with path. Okay, automated file name with path. Align this to the right. Okay, so come here. So go to footer, insert, and go to footer, blank 3 column, and right aligned. You're going to put automated file name with path. Okay, to the right. So insert, go to quick paths and field, and then look for file name. You can hit F on your keyboard and you'll be able to find file name. Okay, so mine is just here anyway. So file name, and then also add path and say okay. So you see the file name plus path. Okay, then make sure that all the header and footer items are aligned to the page margins and are displayed on each page. Okay, so how you do that, just but if you're using the blank 3 column, you don't need to worry about this. So just hit this side, you see that it's aligned to the margin, left margin, and hit this one, it is aligned to the right margin. But because you've not used these two, simply just delete them. Please don't leave this type here text hanging there. It doesn't look professional when you leave it hanging like that. Okay, so let's go back to the question paper. So now we are going to create the house style specification, and so create the following paragraph styles, the house style specification sheet. Okay, so this is what you have here, and let me just do this and then we can end this video and then continue in the next video. Okay, so let's work with this one. So let's go to Word, and I'm going to resize this one a little bit, okay, so that at least I can see what is happening here. I hope you guys that this is not too much for you. So go to home, so close this and go to home. You guys, I'm sure you have a printed question paper and you'll be able to see this properly. So I'm going to go to create a style and give the style name is WS hyphen title. Okay, modify it, and let's look at the property for this one. So I'm going to build it based on no style if you want, and the font style is supposed to be sans serif, so Calibri is just fine. The font size is supposed to be 36, so select 36, and it's supposed to be right aligned, so make sure it is right aligned, and there is no enhancement. So if there is any bold, italic, or underline selected, please make sure it is not selected. And then the line spacing is supposed to be single, so this is single line spacing, this is double, and so on and so forth. So select this one, which is single line spacing. Okay, and then there's no space before, there's no space after. So how you do that, you simply just go to format and go to paragraph, and then make sure that space after is 0 and space before is equally 0, and line spacing is single, and say okay, and say okay. So we are done building the first one. Now the other thing, guys, that you need to notice is that it is actually changing this style, or this text has been changed to fit with the style that we have there. Okay, initially this one is, if you undo this one, initially this one is the same style, font style as the other text. Okay, so how you do that, just make sure that this one reduce it to 11 the way it was, and create some space on this one, so that you'll be working as you create your styles, you'll be working on a blank space so that you don't tamper with the text that is there. Okay, it's not really a problem in that you're going to apply the styles later on, but I like it to just work on it when it is on a blank, the cursor is on a blank space, okay, blank line. Okay, so we're going to go for the next one. So the next one is actually subtitle. So go to create, and so it's WS, and it's going to be subtitle, and you're going to modify, and I'll build it based on no style. Okay, so I just want it to be as plain, and then I can add all these attributes myself. So it's a sans serif. I'll leave it as it is. It is 18 points, and this time it is center aligned, and it is underlined, and the space is single. So go to paragraph and make spacing to be single, and space after should be 0. Okay, and space before should be 0 as well. So that should be fine. Okay, so so we're done with this one. So scroll down a bit. Now the next one is subheading. Okay, so create WS subheading and modify. This time around it is a serif font, so I'll build it based on no style, and it's going to be a serif font. So I'll pick up Times New Roman, and it's going to be 16 point, and it is left aligned. So left aligned, that should be fine. It is bold and italic, but it is not underlined. And then it is single spacing, line spacing, and space after is 12. Okay, so just go to format, paragraph, space after is 12, and space before is 0, and line spacing is supposed to be single. Okay, so line spacing is supposed to be single, so that should be fine. Now you guys will need to counter check these. I'm not going to do that. If at all I've made a mistake, at least I've mentioned that you need to counter check. All right, so the next one is body. So WS body. I know it's not very visible. Hope we can see just below here. It's a serif font, so I'm going to leave it as it is, and it is 12. It is justified, and then there is no emphasis, so undo bold and italic. It is single spacing, and it is 12 points after. So go to format and paragraph, and make sure that it is 12 points after it's single, and it's no spacing before. So just okay and okay. So let's scroll up a bit, and the last one to create will be table. So it is WS table, and modify it. It is a serif font too. It is 12. It is left aligned, and it is supposed to be no emphasis, so that's fine. Single spacing, line spacing, and single, no space after, no space before. So go ahead and just put this one to 0, and that should be fine. Okay, so we are done creating the styles, and I'm just going to maximize this now. We're done creating the styles. So we're going to place in our evidence document, okay, evidence screenshots to show all the settings for the body only. Now we are going to show the body style, okay, the settings for the body style only. So go to body and go to modify. Okay, so there will be multiple windows that you need to look. So this window is one of them, and this window should be the other one. So both windows are very important, and you need to get them. So I'm going to get a screenshot of these two windows, okay, and copy them and paste them in our evidence document. So just say okay and paste them in our evidence document. Okay, body style definition, and that should be fine. Next. All right, so in this video I'm going to end here, and I'll continue looking at step number 9 in the next video. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video in just a short while.